right, everybody. So if you can open up CAD and follow along on today's assignment. And I'm recording this, so if we can keep talking down to a minimum, please. I'm making notes of seating changes I need to make. So, all right, so we're going to begin just as we always do, which will be starting with a blank screen here. I'm going to go to File and New Drawing. And if you've done everything correctly up to this point, you should have a basic template. When you hit New Drawing, all of these templates come up, and one of them will be your basic template. So we'll start by opening that. All right, so first of all, one new shape to learn today, and that's circle. And in typical CAD fashion, there's multiple ways of doing this. And believe it or not, there's 6 different ways just to draw a circle. If I push on my circle tool here, you'll see there's these 6 different options. We'll get into these in great detail later. But for now, all we care about is radius and diameter. So radius is the distance from the center of a circle to the outer perimeter, whereas the diameter is all the way across. So it's not the circumference all the way around, just from one point through the center to the other side. So looking at today's assignment, you see that I give you whenever you see a dimension of a circle and it says R, that means radius. So this means a radius of 1. And then the little O with the line through it is the symbol for diameter. So the diameter is 2, which makes sense because the diameter is always twice the radius. So fairly easy math there, but you can figure that out. And then again, I also give you the diameter, but just in a slightly different fashion. You can see here measuring 2 all the way across. So these 3 dimensions here all basically telling you the same thing, the size of the circle. All right, so back to CAD here. So we're going to start by drawing our rectangle. I'll just click on my rectangle tool here. I'm going to zoom in a bit. And you'll notice as you move your mouse around, I get these boxes here that have these numbers, and the numbers are always moving around. This is just my current coordinates of where I am on my grid. Yep.
Should we have ortho on right now? Is that...
Ortho for right now isn't necessary. So on or off wouldn't make much of a difference. And I'll turn my snap on just to make things neat and clean here. So I'm going to click. And that's going to begin my rectangle. And actually, since none of you can probably see this on the projector, you'll always draw in your object layer, but I'm going to draw in my 0 layer just so you can see it on the projector here a little bit better. And I'll zoom in a little closer. So I'm going to click, and now it's starting to draw my rectangle. So I can see here, looking at my numbers here, it says 1.5 to 1, so it's just meaning that my width there is 1.5 and my height is 1. So I can keep moving these around until I get the right dimensions, or what I highly recommend is you can type in the dimensions yourself. So looking at my drawing here, I can see that our width is supposed to be 4, so I'm going to type in a 4 there. Oops. And then our height is 2, so I can hit Tab, and Tab is going to toggle between my 2 dimensions here. So I'm going to go 4 by 2 and hit Enter. And it has created a perfect rectangle for me at those dimensions. So I always recommend manually punching in your dimensions as opposed to using the mouse. As you get into more intricate, precise stuff, sometimes clicking, the numbers look right on the screen, but actually are off. CAD is accurate to 16 decimal points, so the odds of you getting that kind of precision with the mouse are nil. So this is our first object here, this rectangle, and now what we want to do is dimension this. And what we're going to do is we're going to put all of our dimensions in different layers. So layers are a way of us just to organize our drawings in CAD. And two nice things about working with layers is it automatically can put things in different colors for you, so it's easy to identify objects versus dimensions or anything else. You can also turn layers on and off easily. So as we get into more advanced drawings, say we're designing a house and we have layers for electrical, plumbing, sprinkler systems, all that kind of stuff. And if we had all those layers on at the same time, our drawing would be impossible to read. So we can just turn layers on and off as we need to, and also put stuff in different colors. So all of our dimensions are going to go in our dim layer. So up here, you should have your layers box. If you don't see your layers window here, if you click on Window and Layers, it's also Command 4. This should pop up. If it's not here, you can move it around. Sometimes they get buried behind stuff or whatever. But you'll notice as I get it close to the top here, I get this kind of blue line at the top, and that's going to nicely snap it up there for me. And right now I'm in my 0 layer. I'm going to click and go down to my dim layer, which is blue. And I'm going to do my first dimension. So I'm going to come up here to my dimension window or a menu. And I'm going to do a linear dimension. Now, the thing about dimensioning, we kind of talked briefly about our O-snap, or object snapping. So we definitely want to be using our object snapping when dimensioning, because I want to be very precise and to make sure that my dimensions snap to this object. So the object snapping is at the bottom. Can't really see it. Let me move my bar up here. So this is your kind of visual aids and various toolbars here at the bottom of your screen. And there's this one called object snapping. It's a square with a little dot up here. So we're going to want to make sure that that is turned on. And if you right-click on this and go down to Settings, this will tell you all the different things you can snap on. And for now, we're just going to put Select All to make sure that all these are selected. So these should be the default settings, but if for any reason your object snapping is not working correctly, this is where you would modify that. So again, you'll notice as I get to my corner here, I get this square. It shows up there, so that means I'm now snapped to that endpoint. I'm going to zoom out here, and I'm going to snap to my other endpoint. And then I'm going to place my dimensions. You can see now I have this 4, and I can place this wherever I want, but for now, just to be neat and clean, I'm going to place it right in the middle there. Now I want to repeat that exact same command to do another dimension. How do I repeat a command I just did?
Enter.
Enter, excellent. So enter again, and now I'm going to do my height. So bottom and top, same process. Now I have a 2. Now I want to do a diagonal line. So the problem is if I try to do my linear dimension, I want to measure from this point down to this point, it just gives me my 4 again. Well, that's not right, because we all know a squared plus b squared equals c squared, so it'd have to be over 4. So what we want to do is we want to go back to our dimension. It's a different kind of dimension. This is going to be, instead of linear, we're going to do an aligned. So click aligned, and now we can actually draw a line going diagonally and place it. And it's giving us a nice diagonal here. And the only other dimension here is the angled dimension at 90 degrees. So we'll go to Dimension, and go to angular. So dimension angular. And the way this one works is I click on the lines that I want to do. So this is my first line. I'm going to go down here and click my second line. And then you can place your dimension. Notice I can place it outside here. I can place it over here. It's kind of all these different spots I can place it. So I'm going to place it right here for my 90 degrees. So now I'm going to pan over here and I'm going to draw a circle. And I'm going to start with center radius. I'm going to go back in my 0 layer here. So center, and then we have a radius of 1. So I'm just going to type 1 and enter. And now we have a number of different dimensions for this circle. So the first one I'm going to do is our linear. I'm just going to click on the top and bottom of our circle. I'll put that here. Next one is our radius. So I'm going to go dimension radius.
What was the first one you did? Linear?
Yeah, I just did a linear, which is really normally you'd never dimension a circle that way, but I just did it for kicks. And then I'll do a diameter dimension as well. So clicking on my... Yeah.
Wait, so how'd you do that first one?
So I did a dimension in linear.
Right.
And then I clicked right on the top of my circle. And it gives a little diamond there. Then I'm at my top quadrant. And then I'm going to go down, click on my bottom quadrant.
Right.
And then now I have my
now
2, and I'll just drag that out here.
Are the other ones linear too, or what are they?
One's radius and one is diameter. So today we did the linear dimension, a line dimension, radius dimension, diameter dimension, and angular dimension.
I couldn't figure out the angular.
Why is my circle? Should we have made our circle in the red layer or the blue layer?
Red.
Oh, okay.
So any questions on dimensioning objects? Drawing circles? Use our visual aids. Awesome.